The first one, which I did very quickly before, was talking about the rule of 72T. And this brings a lot of confusion, but we had a gentleman that literally said, I don't like my IRA. I've got $500,000 in it. I'm going to be taxed on everything that's in it, and I don't want it there anymore. Well, okay, well, I'm sorry, you're not 59 and a half. If you touch it before then, you're going to have a 10% penalty. But he said, well, I've heard about these things called rescue IRA. Can I do one of those? So let's talk about it. Marketing is so funny because that's what they do, is they put titles on things and people catch on to them. So a rescue IRA is really a fancy way of a Rule 72T. It's saying we can find a way where you can empty your IRA without the 10% penalty before age 59 and a half. Do you have to pay taxes? Yes, it's an IRA. But the way that it works is you have to take at least, you bring it out there and you have to take at least payments, substantial equal payments every year for at least 5 years or up until the age of 59 and a half. So let's pretend you take it, you say, Crystal, great, I've got $500,000 in my IRA. I'm going to take $100,000 a year for 5 years. And then you do it when you're 57, you do it when you're 58, you hit 59, you're like, Crystal, I don't have to do it anymore because now I can legally touch my IRA without a 10% penalty. No. You have to finish that 5-year payout, right? Because it has to be 5 years or the age of 59 and a half, whichever is longer. Because if you don't, what happens is there's going to be a penalty, retroactive, and interest on everything you pulled out prior. Now, you might say, Crystal, why in the world would anyone do that? Individuals, because of their concern over where taxes are going, have reached a place where they say, I'm going to pay my taxes now. I would rather pay it now, get that done, and I'm going to put it someplace else. Now, they can't take it out of the IRA, pay the taxes, and then say, okay, great, now I've got like $80,000 or $70,000 left. I'm going to go put it in a Roth. No, because you're limited. Remember, if you're below the age of 50, you can only put $6,000 in a Roth. And if you're 50 or over, you can only put $7,000 in a Roth. So what happens is when you're doing these rescue IRAs, these rule of 72T, which is the IRS code, is basically what you're doing is taking this money out and saying, I'm going to pay the taxes now and I'm going to put it someplace else that will not be taxed again. Now, they have other options. A lot of times people will take that, they'll put that into life insurance and not worry about the cash value tax, tax value that's going to grow because they know that won't be taxable. That's where you hear that rescue IRA because people are rescuing their IRA, paying the taxes by making sure they have substantial equal payments every year for 5 years or up until the age of 59 and a half, whichever is later. So if you started at 40, you're not done with taking payments of the same amount at age 45. You have to continue that until you reach 59 and a half. Hopefully that's conveying properly so that everybody understands. And of course, since this is not investment advice, I'm just telling you about rules that are out there, strategies that people are using to be able to take money out of an IRA, pay the taxes, put it over into different areas. Now, some of the areas they're putting in, I'm going to talk about in a moment, may have to do with when they're looking towards private equity. We're not going to talk about specifics, but I am going to talk about how it functions just so that we know, because we see this as a growing area where we are noticing people are doing rule of 72T, getting their money from a locked up, fully taxed vehicle into something else. And will they have to pay taxes in the private equity? Yeah, but it's a different scenario and different tools can be used on it. But that at least should answer the questions on how does the rule of 72T. So if you are wondering, I've got this really big IRA, or maybe it's not huge, but you've got an IRA and you do not want to keep it there. You're saying, by the time I reach 59 and a half, I know how big this thing is going to get, or by the time I reach 72, you want to rescue it now. That's where the rule of 72. Talk to your financial advisor. You can talk to us here at Crystal Clear Finances, 518-433-7181. It is not right for everyone. It's not. If you're taking money out of your IRA and then you're just going to go spend it and lose it, then how are you preparing for retirement? So this would be one of the reasons why it's taboo, that we don't talk about it a lot, especially on a radio program or a podcast or a YouTube, because we don't want to encourage individuals to close their IRAs and just squander the money away. But if there's specific purposes, maybe you're buying rental property, maybe you're buying a business and you want to say, you know what, I want to buy a business. This is the only asset I have. I want to take it out of the stock market. I want to put it into a real estate component. This could be a component you could look at.